Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here, and it's always great to be with my colleagues in our congressional delegation. Thank you to the United Way for hosting us, and to Federal Hill House, who's represented here today, not just for being here, but also for your leadership in the Providence VITA Earned Income Tax Credit Coalition. The services that you provide our community are incredibly important, particularly right now. 2 months ago, Congress passed and President Biden signed into law the American Rescue Plan. This is a really critical COVID relief package that set our country back on the right track, that really addressed the enormity of the economic crisis and also the very significant public health crisis. It put money into pockets, shots into arms, children in schools, people in jobs, and many of the benefits are still on the way. And actually this morning at the Kids Count Breakfast, Senator Whitehouse made the plea that it's really important that we ensure that all Rhode Islanders know all of the help that's available, that we fought so hard for, to be sure that that is felt here in Rhode Island. The historic expansion and improvement of the child tax credit is just one example. In the American Rescue Plan, we made the full child tax credit available to kids and families with low or no income. We expanded it to include 17-year-old children, and the maximum amount of the credit has been raised to $3,000 per child, or $3,600 if the child is under 6 years old. These changes will make an enormous difference. The expanded child tax credit, combined with other benefits in the American Rescue Plan, could reduce child poverty in the United States by half. Here in Rhode Island, 91% of all kids, 173,000 children, will benefit from these improvements. 6,600 children will be lifted out of poverty. And in just the first congressional district, 24,500 households will see an average annual benefit of $2,600. This is a really historic moment. We need to seize this opportunity, and that's why we're here today with the United Way and Federal Hill House. We need to make sure that every eligible Rhode Islander gets the full child tax credit, as well as the expanded child and dependent care tax credit and the earned income tax credit. These measures will provide really important relief. There's much more work ahead, as I think last week's jobs report made clear. And the President has sent to Congress the American Jobs Plan. It will level the playing field for small businesses, grow our economy from the middle out, and make sure that working people are no longer left behind. And we're all committed to making sure we pass the American Jobs Plan. We also need to advance the President's American Families Plan, which extends the tax cuts for American workers and families with children that we're talking about today. Researchers estimate that making the expanded child tax credit permanent would reduce child poverty in Rhode Island by more than 33%, and reduce deep poverty among children in our state by more than 66%. And we are all committed to making sure this happens. But first, we want to make sure that every single eligible Rhode Islander takes full advantage of the child tax credit. And to talk more about what this means for our state's families, I'm delighted now to introduce our senior senator, who's been such a great champion for all of these relief packages, but for Rhode Island children in particular, Senator Reid. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, David, for organizing this event, and it's a very critical topic. I also want to recognize my colleagues, Senator Whitehouse and Congressman Landry, and also the United Way of Rhode Island, Larry Warner, Janine Donnell, and the VITA EITC Coalition, and I believe Laura Ferrandez, the Federal Hill House, who take us today. Thank you for all you do for Rhode Island. As David indicated, we recently passed the American Rescue Plan. There are many, many important components of this plan, but perhaps the most important one, most impactful one, is the child tax credit, as David discussed. No child in America or anywhere in America should be living in poverty. We can do better for them. And the CTC is one of the most effective or powerful tools to ensure that children are not living in poverty. It has already lifted millions out of poverty, and it will do much, much more. As David indicated, the estimates are that it will raise half of the population of poor children from poverty into a better life and a better way. So we have to keep working about it. One of the aspects of the bill I think is so critical is the fact that we've made it refundable. One of the ironies of this legislation is aimed at poor families with children, but the poorer you were, the less you got because you didn't have any taxes to offset. Now it's fully refundable. That is going to be terrific. And in that context, everyone should be filing their taxes May 17th, next week, is the deadline, but get your taxes in so you can qualify for these refunds. Now, the other important aspect of this is that starting in July, half of CTC funds will be paid in monthly installments. So families will not just have to wait till the end of the year to get their payoff. And for some families, the end of the year is just too far away. They'll get monthly payment. With refundability and monthly payment, this is one of the most progressive and one of the most thoughtful pieces of legislation we've passed in a long, long time. Now, it's a big step going forward, but some of these provisions are not fully permanent yet. So our task not only is to get this program rolling, it's to go back and make sure that all of these provisions become permanent parts of our tax code and our legislative system. And once we've done that, I think we will have done a tremendous deed to ensure that no child lives in poverty in the world's richest country. Thank you very much. And now let me recognize Michelle in the White House.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, David, for organizing this. It's good to be with everyone, and I'm delighted to join the chorus and note for everybody May 17th. May 17th is the date to file your taxes to become eligible for the checks that begin in July. So if you have children, 17 and under, file by May 17th, 17. And that way you'll be eligible for these checks that will come out. In Washington, we call this refundable, which is our Washington way of saying this comes to you as cash. This doesn't come to you as a tax return. It comes to you as cash. And we've raised it from $2,000 to $3,000 per child, unless your child is 0 to 5, in which case it's $3,600. So a family with 2 children under 5 gets $7,200. And those checks will be parceled out monthly. And we all know what a big difference that can make in a family's life when suddenly an extra $600 a month is coming into that family to help support those 2 little kids. So that's why we talk about this as lifting families out of poverty. It is part of a suite, a collection of benefits that we've provided, which include this child tax credit and the earned income tax credit and the extension of COBRA, the healthcare support, and the unemployment insurance addition, and child care, and rental, and of course the stimulus checks that many people have already received. So all of you from United Way, from Federal Hill House, who work together to try to support Rhode Island families, please have that checklist of 7 programs and making sure that every family you're in touch with, you've checked for every single one of those programs to make sure that they're eligible. Every single year we get together and we do the Earned Income Tax Credit press conference. This is like that times 7. It's really, really important that Rhode Island groups and community groups reach out to their communities that they serve and make sure that all of these programs are coming through Rhode Island. What we want is for Rhode Island to set the record for getting the most bang for the federal buck that we have set out, getting as many families as possible checked in on this. You've got kids under 17, file your taxes by May 17th, and you will get cash payments to help you support your family. Thanks very much, and I'll turn it over to Congressman Jim Langevin, because the role of the House in getting all this done was so significant. I really appreciate that. Jack and I really appreciate the work of David and Jim.
Sheldon, thank you very much, and I want to echo your comments. It's really an honor for me to be here today with our senior Senator Jack Reed and Senator Whitehouse, my colleague in the 1st Congressional District, Congressman Cicilline. I want to thank David for organizing this event. This is our day of action. The Speaker has asked us to take up, and I'm proud to be here with my colleagues to highlight this very, very important issue that we're discussing today. So I want to thank Larry and Roshni and the United Way for hosting us here today, of course, And also, I want to thank Lori Fernandez for being here on behalf of Volunteer Income Tax Assistance or Income Tax Credit Coalition. And let me just say you do incredible work for Rhode Islanders every day. So I want to say thank you. Also, let me just say that it's really been a pleasure working with my colleagues on this issue of getting the American Rescue Plan through, and proud to support, of course, the American Families Act. And I have to be honest, I'm just so proud of our shared work in Congress to pass that American Rescue Plan Act, particularly because it expands the child tax credit. Since we passed the bill in March, of course, Rhode Islanders have received an additional round of relief checks. Our economy is now on the rebound. Approximately 65% of all adults in our state have received a COVID-19 vaccine, and now we're on the verge of slashing child poverty in half. That's right, in half. This is such a significant move to ending childhood poverty and helping struggling families to really get their footing and to really get ahead for once and for all. The American Rescue Plan Act's expanded child tax credit will benefit some 173,000 kids in our state, and it'll lift nearly 7,000 of them out of poverty. That means that 7,000 children that had been going to bed hungry at night won't be going to bed hungry. No family should have to choose between paying for utilities or putting food on the table or for paying for child care. The expanded child tax credit's monthly payments will put more money in the pockets of hardworking Rhode Island families and ensure that our state's economic recovery remains fair and firmly on track. Starting as early as June, as Sheldon and David and Jack have talked about, American families will start receiving payments of up to $300 per month per child for kids ages 0 to 5, and a $250 a month for kids ages 6 to 17 years old, which is why I'm here today and so excited to be here along with my friends in the delegation to encourage all eligible Rhode Island families to take full advantage of this incredible opportunity by filing their taxes ahead of the upcoming May 17th deadline. It's not every day that Congress passes a bill as consequential as the American Rescue Plan Act, but we did it, and I'm so excited and thrilled for what it's going to accomplish. In the face of a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic, my colleagues and I were pleased to really step up to deliver for Rhode Island's working families, and we're witnessing this progress every day. So please, let's go get those tax returns done by May 17th, and let's keep Rhode Island moving forward. Thank you all. And now I'm introducing Larry. Larry, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Larry.
Thank you, Congressman Langevin, and good morning, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to welcome the entire federal delegation, Senator Whitehouse, Senator Reid, Congressman Cicilline, thank you for organizing today's event, and Congressman Langevin, to United Way of Rhode Island to celebrate child tax credit. We are thankful for your leadership on this expansion and for what it means for the community, and we're glad to be part of this initiative which helps to put the community first. We're also here to celebrate the exact mechanism and partnerships with the community and with the IRS to help make programs like this accessible. And the VITA program, or Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, is one of the ways that we partner with the community to bring about resources like the Earned Income Tax Credit and the Child Tax Credit. The Earned Income Tax Credit, or the EITC, and the CTC, the Child Tax Credit, are statistically proven to be effective anti-poverty programs in the United States and are designated to help, or designed to help, keep individuals out of poverty while encouraging people to work. The EITC provides a tax credit that puts money back in people's pockets, and especially for those who need it the most. The amount benefited is determined by the individual's income, and as you heard, it's important to file as soon as possible and before the May 17th deadline so that payments can start as soon as possible in June. In order to receive it, and if you're not sure if you're eligible for free tax preparation, you can call 211. And that's an important partnership that United Way has with the community in order to ensure that resources and programs like the EITC and CTC can be accessed. Together, the CTC and the EITC lift children and families out of poverty every year. And our focus is to continue working with the community and with families who need it the most to ensure that they have safe, affordable housing, access to great schools and after-school programs, and meaningful work opportunities. And one of our amazing community partners that we're happy to work with is represented here today by Lori Fernandez from Federal Hill House Association. And so it's my great pleasure to introduce Lori.
Thank you, Larry. And also thank you, Senator Reid, White House, and Congressman Cicilline and Langevin for your continued advocacy in Congress. It's well appreciated. My name is Lori Fernandez. I'm the Director of Aging and Adult Services at Federal Hill House. In my role, I help lead the Providence Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, which is called VITA, and the Earned Income Tax Credit Coalition. For over a century, Federal Hill House has consistently served as a pillar of our community, fostering connections and helping our neighborhood grow together in pursuit of education opportunity and belonging. Our Providence VITA Coalition is made up of well-known community organizations within Providence, which includes Amos House, Capital City, Center for Southeast Asians, Mount Hope Center, Open Doors, Providence Spanish SDA Church, Genesis Center, and also including Federal Hill House. These programs work collectively to provide high-quality tax preparation to members of our community. It has been a really trying time for our coalition due to the pandemic, but I'm really happy to announce that we've been able to transmit over 2,000 tax returns this year as of April 15th, and our total refund of taxes we've been able to serve the population is $3 million, over $3 million. So we're really proud of those numbers despite a lot of the barriers that COVID brought on. Our staff and volunteers also educate and inform our clients about credits earned as the Earned Income Tax Credit, Child Tax Credit, and Advanced Child Tax Credit. By having their taxes prepared at a VITA site, tax preparers are able to keep 100% of their refund without being charged predatory fees. This year, thanks to the passage of the American Rescue Plan Act, changes to the child tax credit will help many families receive advanced child care credit payments starting this summer. Families claiming the child tax credit for 2021 may receive up to $3,600 per child under 6 and up to $3,000 per child between 6 and 17 years old. If individuals or families, especially with children, haven't filed their taxes yet, we urge that you do so at our VITA sites so that families and parents can take advantage of the right advanced child tax credit and other tax credits that are eligible for. Please call 211 to find your nearest tax site. So, as a community organization and a VITA coordinator myself, I can attest the difference credits such as the CTC has on families. This 100% refundable credit allows families to have cash which can be used to support their households, stimulate the local economy. I can tell you, just hearing from different stories of the coalition, a lot of these tax credits were used to provide technology for children in distance learning, as well as supporting, putting extra food on the table for families, and also, most importantly, helping a lot of families put rental deposits for apartments that were greatly needed. So it's really, really, really been helpful to advance the economic stability in our community. The Earned Income Tax Credit and the Child Tax Credit, which goes to millions of low and moderate income working families each year, provide work, income, educational, and health benefits to each recipient and their children. Recent research suggests, and the income from these tax credits leads to benefits at virtually every stage of life. So we encourage all Rhode Islanders to file their 2020 taxes, and please do not hesitate to reach out to our coalition for any form of assistance. Thank you again for this opportunity to share the importance of these credits. Yes, I have.
Maybe just tell me.
Yeah, sure. So right now we have Center for Southeast Asians, who is continuing to do taxes until May 17th. We also have Open Doors, and we also have Capital City that will also be open until May 17th. A lot of our tax sites ended up closing a little bit early so we could be able to close shop thoroughly. However, we still are able to accept walk-ins last minute if there are anyone who sees this news conference and really is in need of filing their taxes. We're never going to turn anyone away. So we definitely want to encourage people, to call 211 and find the nearest tax site near you so you can get those things done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lori. That's just a great reminder, if you want to find out if you are eligible for the child tax credit, just dial 211. They can also tell you where the closest VITA site is to help assist in the preparation of your tax return. So thank you for that.